And we have another question. This is from an anonymous attendee. I think young, ambitious, high achieving young leaders tend not to believe you when you say they need to take the time to care for themselves. They work hard and fail to set boundaries, even though you tell them from experience that boundary setting and self care are important habits to start now. How do you help these young leaders?
I think that, first of all, it's a fantastic question. I think that the way that we help each other and including these new ambitious leaders is by modeling it. So if they're not seeing that in their environment, if emails are coming in the middle of the night and everyone's responding to them,
Yes, yes,
then we're not doing a good job of setting boundaries, right?
absolutely.
If I send an email in the middle of the night, maybe we've had this expectation that, well, then you just respond, as soon as possible. And so we become so hyper available to each other that I think that the understanding is maybe I'll work late. Maybe that's my good time to catch up with certain things. But please know that the expectation is not in any way that anyone should respond. And so helping them understand that when we role model our behaviors and what is important to us, what are the expectations around response times, around availability, and really helping people shut down and shut off, because a lot of times new, especially people who are very eager in their professions, want to go that extra mile. And what's going to end up happening is they're going to end up in a really bad spot. And the stress will have the physical and emotional and psychological impacts that it has, that we can anticipate that they will have on people.
Awesome. Because as you were speaking in your presentation, I wrote down notes, and I sometimes, especially when I look back years ago, that sometimes leaders would make it sound altruistic to say, "Oh, I'm not taking a break," or "I'm working through my vacation," and this is truly a culture shift, as you're saying.
It is, and I think that more than ever, we have to acknowledge that that behavior is not healthy, that it's not good, and it's not one that we should aspire to. And you're absolutely right. I was in that same culture where I felt like I couldn't shut it down. I was working on weekends, I was working evenings, and even so, I was realizing I still wasn't finishing everything I needed to finish. And it just got harder and harder till I started really putting boundaries around myself. And I will tell people on my day off, well, today's my day off. So if they're texting me because they didn't get a response to my email or saw that I was out of office, I'll tell them today I'm spending the day with my family, but I'll be looking at your email tomorrow morning. And that has to be acceptable. How could it not be? And so we have to really start protecting ourselves. I think that's one of the pieces, but also role modeling for others. But you're absolutely right, Dr. Bienemy. That's the slippery slope that so many of us fall into.